There are all these milestones we hit when we become an adult, right? You graduate high school, you learn to drive, you turn 21 and you go to a bar for the first time because you never faked an ID. That would never happen. You buy a house, you have kids, you graduate college, all these things. But what truly makes you an adult is your first partscaster. What up, y'all? So I've been thinking about doing this for a long time, and it's been a 3-month process and journey, but I've finally done it. I've made the Telecaster that I always wanted, but the way I had to do that is I had to build one. So today we're gonna talk about my partscaster that I just got done putting together last weekend. Spoiler alert, I love it. We've all done it, right? No matter how many racks of guitars we've gone through, how much time we've spent on Sweetwater or any of those things, we've always had this guitar kind of in our minds that we've always wanted, and maybe you just can't get that off the shelf. So what do you gotta do? You gotta turn to the aftermarket and make your own partscaster. So today I'm gonna tell you about this one that I made, and then I'm gonna tell you about kind of the process and the experience I had of making it. First off, not as hard as I originally thought it would be. So if you've been thinking about doing one, you've been on the fence, get off the fence and get to it. Okay, so before we get into the details on this lovely Sonic Blue guitar that I've always wanted, I do want to say one disclaimer. It wasn't like I made this guitar super cheap. I think all in, I'm in for about 950 bucks. There's no way I could sell a partscaster that I made for what I have in it. So if you're gonna build one, build it with the knowledge that it's for you. It's not some sort of crazy investment that you can go sell it. Just because I have a Fender on the headstock doesn't mean I can sell this for Fender prices. Now I will say, I basically have a nitro bodied, custom wired American Pro 2 guitar for 900 bucks, 950, and they retail for 1400, 1600. I don't even remember what it is anymore, but still, comparatively speaking, significantly cheaper. So if you're building a partscaster, do it for fun, do it for the love because you want to try to do something. Don't do it because you're just trying to get it built for a lot cheaper, because you might not necessarily be able to do that, okay? So let's check it out. Let's talk about how I got here and what parts I needed and what I did. So the body is from Bloom Doom, guy Dustin. He's got a website, I'll link it below. Fantastic guy, super easy to work with, just really great. So he will custom paint these guitars in nitro for you. So this one is his closet clean version, which basically means, let's get in here and see if you can see it. It's got a little bit of checking in it, but that's about it. But he'll do relicking. There's a few nicks and scratches, but he'll do the relicking for you any which way you want it. So check him out. Go tell him Adam on the internet sent you. He probably doesn't remember me, but maybe he does. Who knows? The first thing I got was this body. Or well, excuse me, the first thing I ordered was this body. So here's the thing about getting a body painted by someone. You have to have patience, especially if you want someone to do it correctly, okay? So I ordered this body the last week of January, and it came in the last week of March. So that was a 2-month, so that's about 8 weeks. Dustin will tell you up front, it's 6 to 8 weeks to get a body from him if he has to paint it from scratch. Now he has a ton of stuff on his website ready to ship, so if you want one fast, maybe there's something there. But here's the deal. Yes, you're like, well, how long does it possibly take to paint a body? Not crazy long, but at the same time, they have to cure. They have to cure for quite a long while. So anyone that's trying to say, oh, I can paint you a body and send it to you in 2 days, think about that, right? So you get what you pay for. I think the body was totally worth it. It's really good quality. All the holes were well drilled. The only thing I had to do to the neck pocket was kind of clean up just with a little bit of Scotch-Brite, take a little of the paint off that came onto it. So cannot talk about it enough, like how great it was to work with those guys. Now, you're gonna ask yourself, well, what did you have to do to the body? So when I got this body, it had the string holes for the ferrules already in it, right? So I just had to press these ferrules in. You can just tap them in with a hammer. These holes were already drilled. The 4 holes for the neck already drilled, which was a big, big thing. The 4 screws, the 4 holes, the 4 pilot holes For the bridge mount, we're already drilled. Now you do have to widen those just a hair, possibly, to get the screws in. That's what I did to make sure they fit nicely. But essentially, the screws you need to make sure this bridge lines up with the neck and that the neck lines up, they're already done, okay? So that will save you a lot of trouble. Let's see, the bridge route and the neck route were already done. So I'll put a picture of it up here without the pick guard. So those were there. Now what I did have to do is I had to drill the holes for the pick guard, the holes for the control plate, and then the holes for the strap buttons. So not too bad all in all for the body. So that's the only thing I had to drill on that. For hardware, I just bought a standard Fender ashtray. They're the cheapest. I don't have as much trouble hitting these corners as some people do. If you do, you probably already know what kind of bridge you would want. I got the ghost toe compensated saddles. And so I just used that with the Cavalier pickup. That all came together, dropped it right in, okay? The neck pickup I bought off a reverb from a guy that's out of a 2020 Gibson Firebird. Now from what I understand, there's a range of Firebirds in the 90s and the early 2000s, something like that, that had ceramic pickups that are different. This one's low output, it's like 7.5K. Just be careful if you're buying a Firebird pickup. There were some really high output ones that I don't know what they sound like, to be honest. So just watch yourself when you're buying your Firebird pickup. Standard 3-way switch is what I went with. So now here's the thing. Some people would do a 4-way switch to do the tapping. I didn't want to. I wanted to do the James Burton thing because honestly, I think a micro switch is a little bit easier. Because then I can switch these pickup positions and I don't have to think about, oh, don't go all the way. So a 4-way switch just wasn't for me. I like it this way because it also gives me the option of tapped or untapped in the middle position, okay? So let's see, we did that. Like I said, a micro switch. So this is just a regular control plate. I think these are road worn knobs that I had from Fender, like 50s dome top. You can see those. I just took a drill and drilled a hole in the control plate for the micro switch and then just wired it up in a classic Telecaster fashion. Nothing too special there. I did try to age the parts a little bit just to try to knock the shine off. And all I did with that is I kind of scuffed them up with some Scotch-Brite, put them in, used vinegar to try to kind of tarnish them a little bit. It worked okay. There's tons of videos on the relicking thing if you want to do it. Same with that. I just got a blank neck plate, nothing special there. And the screws. So now let's talk about this American Pro neck. It's American Pro 2, excuse me. Now I had to do something to this. So on an American Pro 2 guitar, if you look at the back of it, it has a curved heel, okay? And so that means this mounting screw is actually right about here. So when I got this neck, it had 3 of the 4 holes in the correct position. So I had to drill the other hole. Now, if you got an all parts neck or something like that, you're gonna have to drill the holes anyway. But if you're kind of scared of that and you just want to get a neck that's already pre-drilled, you can do that. But really in this one, it was pretty easy because all I had to do was put these 3 screws in, run my drill kind of in here a little bit to mark it, pull it off, drilled it through, and Bob's your uncle. So like I said, I got really lucky because this neck was a really nice neck. So I didn't need to do any fret dressing. It was freaking good to go when I got it. I think they had just pulled it off of another guitar. So yeah, the neck went on. I got lucky, right? Or whatever. I got good parts, and so it just lined up perfectly. I went with their vintage style tuners. So these tuners, you'll notice them, they're the slot head ones, which are my favorite kind. I just think they look the coolest, and I like the dropping the string in and winding it up. It just works so well, I think. Now these are their vintage style for modern guitars. So these have the 2 pins that line them up. So those just dropped in super easy. I kind of scuffed them up a little bit to get the shine off, yada, yada, yada. What else? And so the nut. So now what I did have to do was file the nut. And I'm going to be honest, I was a little scared to do it the first time. But I got it. I did it. If you have any sort of mechanical ability, you can do it too. Basically, what you want to do, there's tons of tech reviews online, but get yourself a nice set of nut files if you can find them. I know they're expensive. I think Music Nomad had some for around $90. That's what I went with, and honestly, it's kind of worth it, I think, for me, because I'm also going to keep them for any guitar that I use that needs a nut adjustment. I'm just going to do it myself now because I figured it out and it felt really good to do. So yeah, so drop-in tuners, American Pro 2 neck. Had to file down the nut to get it down. Lucky for me, I didn't have to dress the frets or anything like that. The body is great. Like I said, I think it's about 7.25, 7.3 pounds, and it kicks butt. I'm in love with it. Oh, and then I went with the crazy pick guard. Now, here's a question for you guys. Let's vote down in the comments, please. Do you want to keep the crazy pick guard, or we've got the cream pick guard, which is the very classic. I also like this one. I'm thinking about it at times, but right now we're going crazy. So there's that one. And then we have black, which I also kind of like. It's very Brent Mason. I ain't no Brent Mason. I hope to be someday when I grow up. But there's the black too. So in the comments, which ones do you like? I already asked on Reddit and everybody went crazy, and it's been basically everyone votes for the same thing, and I'm not anywhere closer to getting a vote. So I went with the one that my daughter picked. So sorry guys. Now let's talk about the pickups, the things you really want to know about, and the kind of the special things that I got for this. Let's talk about the bridge first. So the bridge is a twin lion from Cavalier Pickups. So I found him looking around on the Telecaster forum, found one for a great price and bought it. So basically what this one has is his Nashville, which is a pretty classic 60s bridge Telecaster sound. Here, let's just listen to it. Right, gives you the super classic Telecaster bridge sound. Now this one is tapped, so you have that, and then the full tap is this huge lion, which I put the micro switch in a la James Burton, because who doesn't love them some James Burton? And then if I pull it up, I get gives you a fatter sound. Really love this pickup. Really reasonably priced on his website. Go to check that out. I'll put that in the links below as well. Then we get to the neck pickup. So this pickup I found on Reverb used because I was looking at maybe originally a humbucker, but the problem I always run into with humbuckers is they're always way too loud compared to the bridge pickup on a Telecaster, right? That's what everybody always talks about. And then you get into things of like a 500K pot and a 250K. Do you put a resistor in there? Do you put a concentric? Do you do all these things? So just a full-size humbucker turns into a real pain in the you-know-what is what it sounds like to me. So then it was like, oh, let's look at a mini humbucker. And so I started looking at those. And as you start to wormhole down the old internets, I came across people also suggesting the Firebird pickup. So a Gibson Firebird also has a small mini pickup, but it's not a mini humbucker. So let's talk about that right quick. Mini humbucker is basically they just take a plain humbucker and they shrink it down into mini size like you would get on a Les Paul or some of those, the Les Paul customs or specials. I forget what they were called. But a mini humbucker is just that. You shrink it down. Well, a Firebird, apparently it's actually bar magnets in there. So it's a different construction completely. And so you actually get a really nice treble sound out of these pickups. So if I'm just on the neck pickup here, Telecaster but a fatter sound, which is exactly what I wanted. And get this, like, believe it or not, my bridge pickup is louder. So you get more of that kind of classic Telecaster thing where the neck is fatter. You get a fatter neck sound, but you still retain a lot of the high end. So I love it. So long story short, I love this Firebird pickup. If you get a chance to try one or find one, I recommend giving it a shot, because you also get a really great middle position with this. The middle position's really good. Anyway, it's really great. And then even if you do the boosted, I get another. Actually get some decent in-between sounds with it. So this guitar, I really, really like it. Oh, also one more thing before we get going on these sound clips that I forgot to mention. I'm just running into my good old Princeton clone, that 5F2A that I did a video on. And then I'm running like a little bit of a DD3 for slapback delay that I did a video on. And that's it. We're just running straight in, and it sounds so good. Let's hear it. All right, well, enough with the yammering. Let's just kind of play with this thing for a minute. So here's the neck pickup. Pickup. All right, both pickups with the bridge and kind of the classic Nashville. What should we do here? All right, let's boost it and we keep them together. bridge in the Nashville setting on it. Oh yeah. Pretty good. All right, let's do the boosted huge lion setup. Okay, there you go. So if you've been on the fence, you've been thinking of building a partscaster, whether it be a Telecaster, a Jazzmaster, a Jaguar, Mustang, Stratocaster, like what are you waiting on, dude? Go, just do it. It's super rewarding, it's super fun. It's not quite as difficult as you think it would be. Now, I'm good at soldering. I like to solder, but they also make solderless connections these days. They make so much stuff that you can just do to drop in. It's a fun project to do with somebody. And then if you're kind of nervous about doing nut and fret work, you could always take it somewhere and get it done, right? So do it. I think it'd be really fun. It's really rewarding, and you get a great guitar. Like, this is my guitar. It will never be anyone else's, right? So do it. All right, thanks again, y'all. So, hey, we're getting close to almost 1,000 subscribers, so please like, subscribe, ring the bells, or whatever it is that the YouTube gods tell you to do these days. I don't know. And yeah, you're going to be seeing this guitar on all my lessons and videos from here on out because it's so good. I just love it. And yeah, thanks again. Check out some of these other videos over here. And yeah, be good or be good at it, y'all. Later.